on my way to visit my grandmother. You know, while I'm driving over, I have something that I just want to say out loud. I don't quite know what to do with myself.
I love you bit much.
When the kids are here, then it's great. I've got purpose, I've got structure. You know, but as soon as they're gone, you know, I have a day where I spend with Granny Bubs, and then I have another full day. And I know I can just enjoy it, run errands and stuff. But sometimes I feel like, should I be doing something right? I just want to be able to serve and give back to the world a bit more. Like I've told you guys, like in the past few years, I just really wanted to focus on the kids, right? Once they're in school longer, I could do something more for myself. I wouldn't actually mind helping out in a cafe or something. But the problem is, even if they're at school, the time I really have isn't that long. Sometimes I'd look at part-time jobs to see what there is out there. For a lot of the part-time jobs, you know, a lot of them are evenings and weekends, which doesn't actually work out. So it's just a point in my life where I'm just feeling a bit stuck. And my intuition tells me to just keep drawing. Just keep drawing, keep learning, because I know I've got skills, and if there is a certain skill that I have, then it's my, you know, creative ability. But yeah, I'm just at a phase in my life where I don't quite know. I love being a mom, and in itself it really is like multiple jobs, but I feel like I could do more. Suppose my resume would be it wouldn't be your like traditional resume. At the same time, I always feel like, you know, my path would always be a little bit different than your like conventional path. I know I'm good at art. I know I'm good at creating things. I know I'm good at teaching, but it's just how I utilize those. I suppose we'll find out all in good time. It is definitely getting quite chilly, and I'm just enjoying this lovely cup of chai. I'm also working on a new painting, guys. The background with the sky and the sea is inspired by, if you guys have watched when Marnie was there. But there's a scene when they're out in the water. You can see where I got the inspiration from when it comes to the sky. But the version is, I just wanted to do like a girl sitting on a moon and just sailing in the ocean and just really having a good time. And this is what we have so far. About 2 days ago when I was driving to Granny Bubs, and I don't know, just randomly, like I've never said it out loud, even though this is something that I've spoken to with some of my friends and some family members. I shared to you guys that, yeah, I feel like I should be contributing more, like to the world, and just feeling a little bit lost. Like lost in the sense that like it's a bit uncertain, you know, what the future holds for me. I woke up this morning and actually got a really lovely message. Basically, someone shared with me that, oh, Bubs, remember back then when you woke up middle of the night and you were thirsty, so you just grabbed a bottle and chugged it, and you realized it was baby oil, and then the next day you told us you have a very slippery poo. I don't quite remember, but it does sound like something that I would do. Anyways, I shared that anyways, and I was like, why do you guys put up with me? And basically, Roy, if you don't mind me sharing, because you make us feel special, no matter what we're going through in life. Through your videos, you've made us feel like you've been right there next to us through it all, the good, the bad, and everything in between. What you've created through your various platforms is an ultimate happiness and healing getaway. You're happy with us, sad with us, silly with us, strong with us. You give us strength and hope. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for everything, Bubs. Roy, thank you so much for that. Just reminded me that, you know, we're always doing something, big or small. So thank you for the reminder, and yeah, this message really means a lot. You know, I do think back to when I first started off with YouTube, and I know a lot of it is to do with luck, but I never needed to force anything, you know, I never needed to really try. It just unfolded. As of now, I still don't quite know how things are gonna be, and I suppose you can plan and plan and plan, and life will unfold in its own way. You need to stay curious, I guess, on on what happens next. I do know no matter what happens, like I'll be okay. I do feel very lucky I'm able to be with my kids. Maybe it's not about finding yourself. Maybe it's about creating yourself. Today is one of those days I need to remind myself we are called human beings for a reason, not human doings or human having. They say there's 2 ways to be a light in the world. You can be the candle or you can be the mirror and reflect it. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much for being my candle and also my mirror. So I am leaving for a chiropractic appointment soon and I'm pretty looking forward to it. My shoulders have just been feeling very tight, especially like my neck area. So I got about 5 minutes left before I need to go. But this morning I just want to share some practices that I do to help ground myself. And these are not in any like particular order. But the first one I like to do is I like to clean and declutter. I do find that like when my mind feels cluttered and messy, it really helps when my surroundings and my environment is at least clean. For one, when I'm deep cleaning, it sort of takes your mind off things, right? So you just get really immersed into it. That's the only thing that you're really thinking of. I always feel much better like when I like declutter. Another practice that I like to do is I like to stretch. Some people say like we have like trauma like stored in our body. Yeah, I always notice on days where I'm just not feeling good, I can feel like the tightness, like my body feels different. You know, on those nights I would stretch for about 30 minutes before going to bed. And yeah, it's just taking that time to like really stretch out the muscles, take nice slow deep breaths. I think it's the breathing aspect as well, because when you're breathing slow, I think people call it like an altered consciousness, but when you get yourself to that state where you're just really relaxed and breathing slowly, you kind of get into your body and out of your head. While I'm doing this, I always imagine, I heard this from a Rachel Hollis podcast, where she's like, what do your wings look like? And so like there's some days where it feels like, oh, my wings are like really wrapped around my body. And then there's some days where like my wings are big and colorful and iridescent. So on days where I need the grounding, just imagine like my wings just completely opening up and they're huge. I'm back from my chiropractic appointment. It was amazing. But anyways, just going back to what we were talking about before, whenever I feel like I need comforted, like those wings hug me like a big blanket of love. And you know, there's moments when it feels as if like I'm in a big cocoon, right? And I'm just in the process of metamorphosis. I love going on a nice nature's walk, as I talked about. It really is just about being outside and clearing your head, because often, you know, your mind just floods you with all these thoughts about the future, and your ego is always going to be like fear-based. And once you learn to clear your head and just empty it, that's when, you know, the inspiration comes in. And you empty it out and you allow more space for the love to come in. And a great way to really be present is, you know, just really be mindful. You know, every step you feel, like notice how it feels, you know, as you take each step. Use your 5 senses, you know, like listen to the leaves like rustling in the trees. You can hear the wind, the birds chirping, and then your eyes look around. The tree barks, you'll notice like little like leaves sprouting from them. There's just, I mean, it's very corny, but there is abundance everywhere. Like this cup of tea, like this is abundance. Like there is abundance everywhere. And it does make me feel like a spiritual millionaire. Another way I feel grounded is by spending time with my loved ones. Be it like a friend or a family member. I think life is harder when you're just really focused on yourself, and when you're able to help someone just by being a friend, like listening, just hearing someone out goes so far. Anytime you're able to help anyone, like smile at a stranger, every time you do something nice for someone and you make their day a little bit lighter and brighter, you do that for yourself. Your ego is always leaned into fear, so you know, unintentionally, sometimes we can become a bit selfish and sometimes very selfish. And once you give out some of that love all around you, you actually get more of it back. I had to dash on my way to visit my grandmother. So those are the practices basically that I like to do to ground myself. But often when we do need to be grounded, it's really fear. Fear is pretty much just an ambiguous threat that prevents you from being present, right? Fear is not always fact. It's when we're really present, that's when you can listen to your heart, because your heart is the voice of your spirit. Here is always true. It's like, watching Inside Out 2, anxiety, right? She's actually trying to protect Riley. She never meant to harm Riley. So it's like two totally different channels, your mind and your heart. You have to empty the garbage up there often, right? So go ahead and empty that. And I like to just take a deep breath and just empty it out. Empty. Empty every day. I'm gonna be picking some pears from my granny's pear tree. Driving back from my grandmother's today, I was just thinking abundance is being able to pick the pears from her tree. How lucky I am that I'm able to spend time with my grandmother, that she's still here in my life. The fact that I'm able to walk my dogs every day. The fact that, I have the time to go out and stare at a tree for like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, the fact that I have a whole world of art to explore and to learn from, that really excites me. Being able to chat here with you guys, that's abundance, right? I've always been able to express myself. It's always been a safe space here for me to share whenever I need something. The universe, God, whatever you call it, it's always provided. I go to bed each night sheltered, with a full belly. I'm warm with my loved ones. That's abundance. Before, my mind was occupied, focused on the future. Then we learn to center ourselves again. Come home to your heart space.